Qwen just killed OpenAI and Google. Oh yes, China just took over, and we're talking about a new reasoning model from Qwen, Alibaba company, and it's beating Gemini 2.5 Pro, CLAUDE, OpenAI's O4 Mini, and this model is really state-of-the-art, open source, and this is probably one of the most insane things that happened in AI in the past 2 months. Guys, look at these benchmarks. GPK benchmark, it's beating DeepSeek R1, it's beating its old model, and it's matching the performance of O4 Mini, but lags behind Gemini 2.5 Pro. On the IME25, which is a math competition, it's beating all of the competition except O4 Mini. On Live Code Bench, it's beating all of the other models, which is pretty insane. On Humanity's Last Exam, it lags behind only Gemini 2.5 Pro. And also, on Arena Hard, it's beating all of the other models by quite a margin. You can see the blue line, which was the previous thinking model. And we can see that it's jumped around 10 to 20% across all benchmarks. This is absolutely huge. And we're talking about a model with a total number of 200 billion parameters and only 22 billion active. This is such a cheap model for inference. This is groundbreaking SOTA performance by an open source model. And guys, these are even more benchmarks. Let's open this up on a new page. Let's zoom in, guys. Here we have loads of models, thinking models. And this is the new model, the 2507. Guys, it's competing across all the benchmarks with frontier models, with paid models that are so much costlier and so much bigger. And it's open source. Guys, open source from China has caught up to the competition. This is insane. This is so insane that I really can't know what to say. We have to try it out, and we can try it out right now completely for free on the Qwen website. On the right hand side, you select Qwen3, 2507, you select thinking, and if you use the drop down button, you can set the thinking budget. I've never seen a model that can think for 81,000 tokens. So let's not waste any time. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to create the transformer web page that we usually do on most of these videos, just to get a sense of whether this model is actually as good as the benchmarks say. But before we do that, I want to let you know that this weekend I will be doing a huge update on my AI course. I have over 4 to 5 hours of new video content to post, and there is already over 20 hours of tutorials in it on automations, video coding, images. This is the best offer in the market. You pay only once to join this course and you get all of the material as well as all of the new updates completely for free. So if you want to get started with AI, this is the course for you. So let's test it out. What I'm asking it to do is create a transformer teaching web page. I'm selecting the web dev option and let's hit run. Let's see what this model can do. If you have watched any of my previous videos where I cover new models, this is one of the most usual prompts that I use. The reason is simple. We can actually see an actual use case that needs information gathering, that needs animations, that needs front-end code from JavaScript to CSS to HTML. This is by no means a hard prompt. So we're seeing whether current models can actually solve front-end development with one shot, as well as adding material that could lead us to teaching. And after that, we're going to be creating a Flappy Bird game. So we're also going to see how this model performs at simple 2D game making. So stay tuned, stay around till the end of the video so you can see the actual performance of this model. And this is a very big deal because you can actually deploy it on your own servers. And I think that Zuckerberg is going to be very happy with this because he can get all of this artificial data just by deploying Qwen pre-trained on his infrastructure and just query it with all of his GPUs. And this is obviously what all of the AI labs will be doing. Because if you can get all of these answers, you can get your models to perform as well as OpenAI's and Gemini 2.5 Pro and Claude Thinking. So it's a cheat code. This model is very small, it's very fast for inference, doesn't cost anything, and this is going to push AI so much. We're going to see the effects of this release down the line in 1 month, 2 months from now, when all of these companies and all of the open source community has utilized all of this data and all of these capabilities to improve further their baseline models. Having an open source model that is beating frontier models right now. I'm not having here Grok 4 because this is agentic. These models are not so agentic. So we really pretty much solved the frontier. Open source has caught up to closed source models right now. All of these labs need to put out their new models like XAI has done, because right now they're lagging behind in pricing and in performance. At least that's what the benchmarks say. This is pretty insane, and this model actually, as we can see here, has very good alignment and is very good at the agentic tasks. Not perfect, but very good. So guys, this, for the open source community, this is absolutely tremendously huge. I can tell you how big this is because also this model can think for so long. It can think for so many tokens, and this is a very big deal. Maybe you don't understand it right now, but you are going to see open source accelerate so much in the next 2 to 3 months. We're going to see even better models. You gotta understand, right now it's summer. Companies set up even bigger infrastructure, 10 times bigger than what they currently have. MCPs are getting integrated. Everything is becoming agentic. We're one step before AGI. Most people don't believe it, but it's quite obvious. It's quite obvious. And AGI is not going to be closed source. Open source has caught up, and the biggest part for this model, if it actually works, as well as the benchmarks say, is that it's actually cheap. You don't have to pay so much to use it. And this is a very big deal, because it shows that you don't need the old huge models with half a trillion parameter. A mixture of expert, well-trained, with good data, that is allowed to think for long and is fast to think, can actually caught up. And this will only mean that models will continue to become more capable, but also at the same time potentially smaller, which means they're going to be infinitely exponentially cheaper as infrastructure scales. So that's a huge deal. Hopefully you agree. Let me know in the comments what you believe about this, what your timeline for AGI is. Again, for me, AGI is already kind of here. Other frontier labs could just go ahead and say, guys, we created a 2 trillion mixture of expert with 100 billion parameters activated. We used all of our data, all of our experience, and we put it out. And it's going to be AGI. Maybe it cannot do everything just because it lacks memory and tools, which is already getting prepared at an exponential curve. All of the companies rush to create MCPs because this is a new marketplace. SaaS are flipping from customers like us with UIs to MCPs. You buy your API key and you get access to MCP services, and your agents can run all of the tasks you need them to do. This is a new kind of economy that is getting brought up. It's like Gemini search, where at first Gemini can solve your search answer by aggregating the web, and you don't have to join websites. So if you're smart, you gotta optimize for AI using your tools, using your information, pointing you as the source of reference. We're changing. Everything is changing so fast that is so hard to believe. We already seen photorealistic videos with audio. We already seen how OpenAI is competing with the best programmers. Like, everyone is using AI nowadays, and they're using AI effectively. Everyone is feeling AGI coming, and I don't think we're really ready for that. So this model is still thinking. This is incredible. This either is going to be tremendously good or tremendously bad. And what becomes quite transparent from the get-go is that they have not created this correctly. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? It cannot read the HTML tags. This is probably a fault of the web developers, potentially. I don't know, but maybe I can, copy this code and put it over to live with. So let's try it out. with LiveWeave, and hopefully LiveWeave is going to be able to do it. Boom! This is the website. Okay, let's do it. Let's scroll. And okay, this is not perfect. I see animations that I like. I see a lot of information. This model has really went in depth. I really love the animations. These things work, the drop downs work. This is a good website, not perfect. It also feels like it used some kind of Gemini data. So if I click start learning, it brings me down here. I would say that this is not bad. I kind of like it. So let's scroll a little bit. Okay, maybe this is what they wanted to do. Like this is a tag for the image, so it's not a button, so that's fine. I really like the result. It's the most detailed result I've ever seen from a model. Like it gives loads of information. I think Lovable is the only one that has more information than that, but you have to understand that Lovable is purely agentic and optimized for this task alone, web development. So this is a great result, arguably one of the best results. I wouldn't say it beats OpenAI and Gemini, but I would say it matches it. So I like this response, and I'm going to move over and create a Flappy Bird game. So let's open up a new chat, select thinking, full budget, and we're going to say create a Flappy Bird game. I'm selecting nothing else, just purely asking it to give me the JavaScript code. I really need you guys to let me know if you have tried this model, or after you try it, did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Do you believe it's good? Because in the past few days, I have tested out loads of Qwen models. I've also tested previous Qwen models like 2.5, Qwen2. These were not that good, but this is actually a very significant jump, from at least from what I have seen. It's actually doing a tremendously good job, in my opinion. And even though it might not be the number one on everything, it might lag a little bit behind on some stuff. Just because it's small and it's open source, it's important. It replaces DeepSeek R1 as the best thinking model. That's obvious already. And one of the most underrated things about this kind of prompts is that I ask models to do multiple stuff that you don't see under the hood. For example, creating a Flappy Bird game with P5.js alone and asking it all of these different things. It's not a simple task to do perfectly, and no model does it perfectly. The best model for this task was Gemini 2.5 Pro. But, Google is already preparing the Ultra version. So I really want Qwen Thinking here to do a tremendous job. I really have so much high expectations from this model. I really hope that this is truly as good as they say it is, because that's what I want to see. I want to see progress in AI, and for me it's super important for the progress to be in the open source community that is not gated behind closed source commercial companies that try to maximize their profits. That's fine, totally understood. We live in a capitalistic society, but AI is such a commodity, such a basic thing. It's like food, in my opinion. It's like energy. It needs to be shared by all of humanity. So hopefully we're going to see even more jumps in open source. Hopefully some commercial companies will start building open source models, open source datasets. I think one of the best things companies can do is give high quality open source data to everyone, as well as open source companies publicize their data. I really feel like we could reach ACI by just sharing all of the data that we have, making them high quality, synthetic, and growing a corpus that is used by all of humanity. Again, this is not going to happen. This is idealistic, but this is the vision. If it can happen, I think we're going to see humanity go 10 steps down the line in just 10 years instead of 200, 300 years. But we're going to see. This model is really thinking hard. This model goes the extra length with all of its thinking. And just, when they turn this model into agentic mode, it's going to be pretty insane in my opinion. Right now it's not that agentic, but if they start adding tool usage inside this UI, I think it's going to be pretty insane. Like imagine a model that is able to spin up the website, then use an operator like OpenAI's operator to see the website, traverse it, test it out, see what it lacks, compare it with other websites, use new designs, think. Like all of these things can happen. But right now they're invisible because there are not enough people working on this kind of stuff, on this kind of practical stuff. But it's coming. 6 months from now, 12 months from now, I don't think it's going to be over a year before this kind of thing is happening. You are going to see AI acting like a real human, seeing what humans see, but also do what humans take hours to do, like hitting an API, finding a service, reading the documentation, and writing the API. These models will be able to do it in an instant. And if you add memory and RAG in that, they could even speed up. Like they take it from RAG and they know exactly what to do. So this is the final result. Right now it understands that it has to give me like JavaScript code. Hopefully the model is not hallucinating, because a lot of times in the past we've seen that the model is using stuff that are non-existent or cannot be used by P5.js. So hopefully this doesn't happen. I really want this game to work. I really hope this game is great. I really hope this is the best game that was ever created on this channel. I really hope that. And of course, I'm going to be fully transparent with the result as always. The goal here is not to advertise anything. The goal here is to be as objective as possible. And I think this video was quite long just because I wanted to, tell you what I'm thinking about and what I believe is happening and what I would love to happen in the future. So let's see how many lines this model is going to write. This is one of the things that I'm really interested in, because I've seen models usually write 400 lines of code for this kind of task. But this model is already over that. Maybe it goes to 500, maybe it does. Let's see. Interesting. This model actually has so many things. It's either going to be perfect or it's not going to even run or have loads of bugs. But yeah, it writes a lot of code, like quite a lot of code. This is the most code I have ever seen from a model. And it uses local storage. So probably that's going to be an issue with P5.js. Let's try it out. Okay, so it actually works and I died. It's not the easiest model. I really like that it shows the FPS below. Okay, I died. If I throw down, I don't die, but I should because I cannot go up again. Okay, I died. If I go up, okay, so I hit the limit. It has a little bit of a delay. All right. So you can play the game, boom, I died and the score stops. Guys, this result is good. This is one of the best games ever created. It lags behind Qwen 2.5 Pro in my opinion. It has some stuff that I like, some stuff that I don't like. For example, if you get stuck down here, it's very hard to get up again. But yeah, this game is working as expected. This is a very good result. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing. I think this model is actually walking the talk. And let me know your opinion about it down below in the comments.